feel like you are chasing absolutely everything. Nothing is working, and you're exhausted. You know, we juggle a lot in our daily lives, and I'm going to prove it to you, kind of an informal poll in the room of sorts. If you put a fist in the air, I'm going to say a series of statements, and each time you personally agree with the statement, you'll just raise a finger, okay? We'll start easy. How many of you work full-time? Raise a finger. Not that finger. How many of you have small children at home? Put up a finger. Anyone have an adult child in the home, also known as a spouse, significant other, partner? Put up a finger. How many of you are part of that sandwich generation and you carry a little bit or a lot when it comes to your parents? Put up a finger. Anyone give their time and talents to something they care about? Volunteer on a board, coach a team, nonprofit? Put up a finger. Okay. How many of you, on top of all of that, are carrying something heavy in your life right now? A death, a divorce, a disease? Look around the room. Look around the room. I see very few zeros and ones. Go ahead, put your hands down. We juggle a lot. Here's the issue. The more we juggle, the more distracted we get. We lose sight of what really matters, and we forget to focus on what we need to, where we need to place our time and our energy and our resources. And this isn't just a personal problem. It's a professional problem too. Because the reality is we are juggling a lot. Do you ever feel like this is your day? There's a line out the door and everybody wants a piece of you? Yeah, we juggle a lot. And as we know, when life gets overwhelming, and it does, clarity and focus are the first things to go. And that changes everything. It affects our relationships. It affects our work performance. It affects our health. And I ought to know. Because back in corporate, I was trying to take it all on. I was trying to do everything, and it really wasn't going very well. I was working as a full-time mom outside of the house, so I am striving to get ahead, get the promotion in business, and I'm trying to raise my family. We are moving into a new home, and isn't that a process? Except the old home hadn't sold. My husband, he quits his corporate job to start his own business. That means 2 mortgages, 1 paycheck, and a whole lot of stress. And the more I live in this environment, the more it starts impacting me physically. I get to the point where I'm having heart palpitations. Yeah, I see you nodding. Numbness in my left hand. I can't get a full breath. I can't even sleep through the night. And the thing is that it doesn't stop there. It starts overflowing. It started impacting my performance at work. It started straining relationships with people that I love. It started messing with my sense of self. I didn't know who I was anymore. But no one can know that, right? I'm supposed to have it all figured out. I'm supposed to be a strong woman, right? Just power through it. Suck it up, buttercup. And don't we do that to ourselves? I go to the doctor. I am convinced I have heart disease. And he tells me, your heart is fine. It's stress. Seriously, I paid him to tell me that? But it was a wake-up call. Because by the age of 40, I am on migraine medicine. I am on high blood pressure medicine. I'm on anti-anxiety medicine. I am officially mad, miserable, and a medicated woman. But what I've discovered, even though that was a dark time, that when you are in those periods, someone or something is going to come along to show up and guide you through your challenges. And for me, that happened with a mindset training. I go to a mindset training, but I have a real arms crossed sort of attitude. Because I'm thinking, how are thinking happy thoughts going to help me? Right? When my work and my life are such a mess. But here's what came out of that training. I discovered it wasn't what I was thinking, it was how I was thinking. And that changed everything. After that training, the impact of it on my work and my life has become my work and my life, and it is now a system. It is called the Clarity Compass Framework, and it is what I share with your audiences so they can take it back and share it with their teams to get clarity on what really matters to move the needle in their career, their leadership, and their business. Because it doesn't have to be huge. It just needs to be personal. And we start with the personal. We start with why. And the simple questions are things like, what drives you? Who benefits from the work that you do? When are you the most fulfilled? Why is what you do meaningful to you? And even though those answers are simple, they're profound. Because here's what it's done, is that it connects their every single day activities to a bigger picture. It becomes less about just getting through the day or checking off the tasks that you need to get done, and it becomes more personal. For instance, in one of my audiences, a realtor said his why was to create security for his clients and their families, and he does it through the home. That became the barometer for everything he did in his business. He knew which clients to take on. He knew how to spend his time. He knew when to invest in his business. He avoided those distractions, and he stayed focused on what really mattered to move the needle for his clients and for his business. A nurse told me that her why is to help her patients heal and to help them return to a normal life after their injury, even if it wasn't normal. Didn't look the same as it did before their injury. That transformed how she thought about her work and how she also needed to care for herself so she can continue to care for her patients. So why, even though this is simple, it becomes profound because in each point of the compass, we are going through a question, a critical question, and it starts with why, because that is how you assign meaning. That is how you are motivated personally. That is how you build momentum towards something that you really want. Because the best thing about why is that it doesn't have to be huge. It just needs to resonate. Because here's the deal. People are burning out, and it's not just because of hard work. They burn out faster when their work feels meaningless to them. But here's what we get wrong about the why. We think that it does have to be huge, but it doesn't. You know, not long after I left that training, my world started to change. And it wasn't just that the symptoms and the medicines went away, although, believe me, that was huge. But it was that I discovered these three things. One, I have more influence than I think I do, but I'm also not the only one who gets in my own way, right? Two, I am not the only one who gets tripped up chasing everything and getting exhausted. And three, I am meant to pay this forward, and that is my why. So if you want leaders that are inspiring, if you want teams that are engaged with each other, people as people, if you want organizations that are moving the needle in the industries that you serve, then we need to help them to quit focusing on everything and instead focus on what really matters to make a bigger impact. So I'm Debbie Peterson, and I would love to partner with you and customize a keynote for your next event. I would love to bring this sort of clarity and focus to move the needle at your event. Thank you so much for being here. Take care, and bye-bye for now.